once again, welcome back to Carolina Wildside. I'm Miles Crosby.
And I'm Ben Alderman.
And Ben, joining us Skyping in is Captain Peter Brown, and Captain is a famous inshore fishing guide.
Peter is well known around town because he's been a fishing guide for as long as anybody, a full-time guide. There's a crew of us, and Peter even predates me, that have been guiding full-time as our only job for a long time. And that kind of time on the water gives you a great deal of knowledge to draw from. Peter, drawing from that knowledge, what you been catching this week and last week, and how you been catching them?
Well, Ben, as you know, because you and I fished together with some groups last week, we've been going up way back in the marsh and then back in the bays in very shallow water. Most of the fishing we're doing right now is in 2 feet or less of water, and it's primarily redfish right now with the water in the 50s.
Yeah, the trout fishing and our summertime species aren't here, and it's predominantly a red fishery during the winter. What all different kinds of ways do you pick them up this time of the year?
I would say, Ben, it's mainly the presentation's as important as what you're throwing at them, but we're catching them depending on the day on all different artificials, soft plastics to spoons to hard plastics to different types of flies that we're tying, all different patterns depending on what the fish are eating.
So you run the whole gamut. You go from using live bait and cut bait all the way to your fly fishermen, depending on what your clients are wanting to do?
That's right. We really have to gauge who they are and what they want to do, and you get all types of people when you're a full-time guide, as we are, and you really do have to cater to what they want to do to make them happy. So,
Peter, I know you and Ben obviously would know this, but let's say somebody is new to the area, they're watching the show, and they want to find out about different species that you were talking about that have moved out because of the cold weather. When will you start seeing the season come back for other species like tarpon and that sort of thing?
It'll be redfish primarily from now through early May, and then we'll be catching a lot of trout. The trout will start their spawning and sometime mid-April, early May, and there should be a lot of trout this year. And not soon after that, the tarpon, the bluefish, the flounder will start biting again, and just all the summertime stuff will show up.
Well, we both love this wintertime fishery just as well as any other time during the year because the water clears up and we can really match the hatch of what's out there and use artificial baits a lot. Do you have any particular flies that you're using this time of the year that seem to be working for you?
We sure do. You've always got the old standby Clouser minnow type fly, which is a real basic but a really good all-around fly. But what we're tying primarily are more of like these shrimp and crab patterns. We're tying a lot of rabbit fur type flies that really move in the water even when you're not retrieving very quickly. The crab patterns are very good for a slow retrieve. The fish see it, and it's just a real natural looking fly. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like the real deal, and when they see it, if it's presented right, they're usually going to eat it.
All right. Well, Peter, I know you like to take a lot of group trips, and so do I. If somebody or an individual or a group would like to get in touch with you to go fishing with you, how can they get in touch?
They can either shoot me an email. I've got a website that is saltcharters.com. The name of the company is Saltwater Charters, LLC. Or they can call me, 843-830-0448, and we'll take care of any size group they've got.
Well, Miles, Peter's opinion and Peter's reports carry a lot of weight in this town. And Peter, I really appreciate you coming on and being a part of the show. Thanks a bunch.
Hey, I really appreciate it, guys. Good talking to you.
Good talking to you, Peter. Once again, Captain Peter Brown, famous inshore fishing guide, and thanks for being a part of the show, Peter. Also, all right. Also want to say a big thank you to our previous guests, including Kim Iverson with the South Atlantic Fishery Management Council, Robert Wiggers with the Department of Natural Resources, Cortland Babcock with United We Fish Rally. He's getting a bus together to head up to Washington, D.C. to voice their concerns. That'll be on February the 24th. Also, Mike Abel from Hatterall's Point and Brad Cromarty. Brad Cromarty. I want to make sure I get that right. For Super Stick, he developed a really unique product that really helps out with the push pole, and also you can get his product here locally and also through Cabela's.
Absolutely.
All right, Ben, we had another great show. A lot going on.
I think we did, Miles. It's our first really controversial show, and I think it came off pretty well. Hopefully the public's informed a little bit better after today.
That's the main thing. Of course, we've got a lot of information out, and we're going to continue to put some information on our website. Don't forget CarolinaWildside.com. And we hope to see you out this weekend with the Southeastern Wildlife Expo. And I'm going to be out at the Duck Shuck at the Visitor Shed with Ducks Unlimited and much more. And you and I are going to be out and about taping some of the Southeastern Wildlife Expo. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a great week.
All right. Well, it's that time of day. Time for us to say once again, thanks for being a part of Carolina Wildside. Don't forget, of course, if you miss one of our shows, you can go online and check out, lots of information and also the whole show at CarolinaWildside.com. For Ben Alderman, I'm Miles Crosby. Thanks for joining us.